The rise of AI could be spooky. The new year means new investments in artificial intelligence for many companies, with IBM proving that it is at the forefront. The company ranked the #1 leader in AI market share for the 3rd consecutive year, with a 9.2% share in this market. Let's bring in IBM Data and Artificial Intelligence General Manager Robert Thomas. Where are we in terms of what artificial intelligence does for companies, does for society? Where are we in 9 innings, in a 9-inning game?
You know, we've seen this movie before. Think about when companies first came onto the internet. It was slow at first, and then adoption starts to explode. In the last year, adoption has been estimated at 5 or 10% by businesses of AI. We just completed a global survey that said it's moving towards 40%. So we are getting into the middle innings where companies are starting to get real outcomes from AI.
Give me an example of how transformative it really is.
It changes how you make predictions, changes how you can optimize your business. A really good example would be Lufthansa, the airline that we've worked with. We deployed our elite team to help them. They now have a small team of data scientists that are supporting over 15,000 customer service representatives in terms of understanding their data, how they can better serve customers. It starts to change how you can drive your business. That's the whole point behind AI.
So Stephen Hawking, one of his more infamous projections or predictions was that AI would doom mankind. Obviously, you don't think so. But to Lauren's question, where are we in that aspect of putting people out of business, doing the work that people should do, et cetera? I mean, how do you view that? Is it a threat to mankind?
I don't think it's a threat. I like to think of it as it's going to give employees and companies superpowers. The ability to do something that they could not do before. The work we've done with Harley-Davidson, they're now making better predictions about future motorcycle owners. They could not do that manually. Too much data, too much work that would have to occur. So this is about empowering companies to change how they're doing business.
So it's man and machine working together instead of against one another.
Exactly.
So humans don't need to be worried about computers and artificial intelligence taking their jobs?
They should be excited by they can do things they could not do before.
Okay.
And by the way, sometimes we're going to automate tasks that maybe we didn't even want to do in the first place.
Where do you stand on medical research and maybe cancer research and the computer being able to spot it in an x-ray, for instance, before a doctor can?
You know, we've made great progress in healthcare, working with companies like Geisinger, where we're solving things like sepsis care. Medical, though, is very hard, and so it's about iteration. You have to keep experimenting, and you start to get great outcomes, but we're really encouraged about the progress we've made in healthcare.
Robert, where do you see the biggest growth potential? Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of industries that are just behind in keeping up with AI. Are there any particular sectors that you see growth being bigger than others?
Let me talk about goals that I see for 2020, which is related to that. One is AI is great at understanding language. So any industry that has a lot of documents, a lot of correspondence, communication, we do that really well. Technology is called natural language processing. Then you've got things like AI that builds AI. So over time, your AI can actually start to automate and build on itself. And that will impact retailers, that will impact any company in the world.
That's when it gets scary.
I kind of agree.
It could be scary, but we invest a lot in what we call trust and explainability, understanding bias. So if we're building models for a client with AI, but we can explain exactly how the decision was made, we can ensure that there's not bias in those models, there's no reason to be afraid. But you have to embed trust in what you're doing in AI.
Who are your clients?
We've got clients all over the world. I mentioned Lufthansa, I mentioned Harley, Wunderman Thompson, which is part of WPP. We work in 180 different countries. Since we've built our data science elite team, we've done 130 engagements in the last 2 years. So it's a wide variety of industries, countries all over the world.
Robert, IBM had a challenging past 18 months or so, although it's in recovery, the stock, I should say. How much of the business of IBM is focused on AI, would you say? Because you had a lot of information around big data and how much of a driver that's going to be for IBM's profits.
AI is so fundamental that it actually touches on every single part of IBM. whether it's software products that we deliver or how we run our services engagements using AI to be more effective in how we deliver those, to things like our hardware business where we actually optimize workloads with AI using our hardware systems.
What about the
so
news
it touches on every part.
Right? The news business.
Um,
Am I going to be replaced by some sort of artificial intelligence?
AI is not very
Mannequin?
good. AI is not very good at creativity. That's the key
Thank
thing
heavens.
to remember.
We create news.
But you can become a lot better at your job by using AI.
How important is 5G? Is 5G like the next super booster for AI?
5G is the battle for data supremacy. That's how I think about it. And your AI is only as good as your data. And so as you harness 5G, you better understand your data, you're going to get better AI.
So fascinating. But I like that AI is not creative. That's where we come in. Robert Thomas, so good to see you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.